Hey,
Hey guys.
welcome to the Blue Green Ocean Road podcast.
Hey, boys.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Mike.
All right.
There you go. We're all here.
Unfortunately, I don't think George is going to be on here this morning.
Now he texted, said his dad
Dad's
was in the hospital.
Yeah. So he's got
What's
to take
happening?
care of business. I think something with his heart, I think. Maybe it's his
George?
No, his father.
Oh, his father. Yeah, he's having some trouble there. Yeah.
Yep. How you boys doing?
I'm unclogging my thing. My sting.
You think?
This is how I spend my Saturday mornings. Let's see if I'm good. Mm-hmm.
Wait for Riley over here,
I
huh?
fixed it.
Nice.
I'm Johnny Fix It.
Vaping.
Even
Vaporama.
Vaping Dave.
the
Vaporuni.
Vaping Dave. How about that? Vaping Dave.
Vape all
I
day,
like it.
vape all night.
This is part of
I
that.
like it.
This is the bread and circuses that they talk about, you know? As long as I got this vape pen, there's no way I'm going to be upset.
Think that's why they finally legalized it?
No, it ain't, I don't know. It's money. It's always money. The reason is money.
Money.
Whatever we're
Exactly.
talking about. Why did they do that? Money. It had to be money.
It's true.
No stems, no seeds that we don't need. Vaping Dave is guaranteed.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, guaranteed. We guaranteed it. We guarantee one vape cloud per minute per show or your money back. People don't do money back anymore.
Vapping.
They do too fucking bad.
Fucking bad, ain't it?
Look at that
Look at this.
shit. Wow. You live outside. Yeah, us apartment dwellers, we can't be, lighting up plant matter in our rental units.
Fuck that.
There'll be no fire.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
It's nice to come around just in time for me.
Yeah.
You know, when I got here, I was walking up to this, off the property onto the sidewalk. It's a good way to meet your other neighbors that have similar vices. You know?
Yeah.
They're the ones that's the only people you'd ever meet, smokers. You know, you had that
You know where
thing.
it's cool? You know where's a cool place to meet people?
No,
Or the people watch? Is in dog parks. You ever go to a dog park?
no.
There's some pretty cool dog parks these days. It's kind of like a meet and greet thing. You got to have a dog, of course. You look real suspicious if you don't have a dog.
Oh yeah,
You know.
that's right.
where
Like
Mikey
if
gets
you're
to
at a
pick up
playground,
girls.
you don't have a kid. These are all red flags.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Yeah. Why?
Well, I'm going to get a dog in the future. I just was doing some research.
What's with the trench coat?
Yeah, it's just doing some research. Isn't that what Pete Townshend said when he found he had child porn? I was just doing research for a book.
I watched
Yeah.
this whole scene once, though. I watched this whole scene go down from a distance, and I could tell exactly what was happening. Like,
Really?
it was at a dog park, and there was a guy, kind of a big, chubby guy, and this real good-looking woman, right? And he sits down on the bench, same bench she's on, and you can tell he's trying to get up the nerve to start to say something,
Yeah.
and he finally does, and she just does not look at him,
Just shuts him down, right?
I watched this whole thing of it. It was so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and maybe it was completely different than what I was imagining, but I mean, because I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah,
but
you're probably right on there.
He just thought it was like the King of Queens or something.
Yeah,
Watching too much TV. He thought,
exactly.
he thought that it might be
you probably have
possible.
experienced it yourself,
Right.
Oh, you know, you got to try. You never know. You know what I mean?
Got to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst is no. So what the fuck?
I don't know if that's the worst
case scenario. You're going to be in a very safe spot you were when you started.
No, the worst
it's just
is
going to be
when,
a little circle.
The worst is when they call.
The worst is when she chews you out and puts you in your place and sends you reeling with your head between your tail between your legs back to your home to think about what you did and where your status is in life.
Jesus, Mikey. Jesus. You're
That's the worst.
No.
That's the worst.
You need therapy.
No, the worst is when she kicks you in the crotch first and then does all that.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? We can't relate to this. Running around with tail between legs. What the fuck? Kind of man are you? We gotta do something.
Just saying
Mike, we gotta help this man.
I'm just
running on with his tail
saying.
between his legs. What the fuck?
I'm just saying, no, it's not the worst you can get.
Yeah, I guess it could get worse.
Yeah, for you, I guess.
She could do all that. She could do all that and then call the cops on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to remember, man, the last time Dave tried to pick up a girl was 1982.
Well, that was you. Such a girl, Mikey.
Things have changed a little bit, Dave. Women have come up in the world a little bit,
Buddy,
you know?
everything's changed. I don't even recognize the world anymore. Mad Magazine comes with a warning.
They're actually equal to men now, you know?
They put up the vintage stuff. It's on the feed. Maybe it went by. Mad Magazine. I got a new script. I got the one. I haven't bought it in a couple of years. I got it. And I'll just get it. It's so weird.
Dave's humor is like Dave developed his humor by reading Mad Magazine. Still has that same kind of humor.
Could be worse.
So this is
it could be a lot worse.
This is December 2023. See? December 2023. And on the bottom there's a warning.
What's it say? I can't see it, so you might as well just
read it. I'll just read it. It says the vintage Mad pieces reprinted in this issue were produced in a time that was less mindful and sensitive to matters of race, gender, sexual identity, religion, and food allergies. I think that might be a joke. They threw it a joke at the end, you know. It says, the text of these articles is presented mostly unaltered. That's kind of disturbing.
Mostly unaltered?
And with fingers crossed for historical references. Yep.
Wow.
And also the saddest part about this is this Mad is not like, this is all kinds of stuff I've read already. There's not much original in here. It's mostly reprinted past vintage stuff.
And so there are advertisements in the magazine now too?
It's just it's like a warning at the bottom. This is like the page, this is like table of contents, and it's a thing right here at the bottom.
I remember after the last of them, was it Al Jaffe was the last of them? When the last of them died, they started their first issue with commercials.
No, that happened before. That happened before a lot of the artists died. I remember getting that. I was a subscriber, and they went to ads. Yeah. And it was confusing because now I wasn't quite sure when I started if I was looking at an ad or not, or if I was looking at, it became apparent, but I'm reading the ads anyway. This was really pissing me off because, like in the old days, an ad, that was just, it was a spoof. Everything was a spoof, everything. Now I had to figure out, was it a real ad? Eventually you'd figure it out, but you had to be.
The other part was that they were saying, well, we're going to give you ads, but we made an improvement. We've colorized Spy versus Spy.
Yeah, and junk like that. Yeah.
Like that was the big selling point. We colorized Spy, and that was like the opposite of what you should do with Spy versus Spy. Spy versus Spy should be black and white.
That's right, because it's black and white.
Yeah.
There's no color in that world.
So on top of putting commercials in the magazine, they went and fucking ruined Spy versus Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I said
it's too bad, actually. Mindful and sensitive.
Yeah.
Huh.
Everybody's a little mindful and sensitive nowadays.
Are they though? I mean,
God.
basically, they're not sensitive to boomers. It seems like this is the only thing. This is basically a case. This is the boomer shit. This is boomer shit. Look out, this is boomer shit. Boomer shit coming.
It's all right.
Isn't all right.
So what do you think? So technically you're a boomer, Dave, right?
I think we fall in that, right? 61.
Technically, we're right near the end of the boom, but
46 to 64.
Yeah,
who do you have more in common with? People who were born in the later 60s in the next generation, or people who were born in the 40s?
It depends, man. The earlier ones, those were the hippies, man. I mean, what the fuck,
Well, I know.
What about being sensitive? I mean, that was not. We weren't sensitive. We were fucking up to. We were petrified too. I mean, what the fuck? Nothing bad happened.
The hippies were a good 10 years older than us, though.
Yeah. I don't think it's a generational thing. It's a person-to-person thing. I don't know. You'd have to poll every boomer to see if they're all fucked up as they say they are. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I can relate
boomers
to.
I know are cool. The boomers I'll hang out with.
I can relate to late 60s and 70s music more than 40s and 50s, except for, a little bit of rock and roll that came around in the late 50s.
Yeah, that's the stuff, man.
But the general, the music, the popular music of the late 40s, I mean, it was good, but I can't relate to it as much as I can relate to early 70s or mid 70s,
Yeah, when you were coming of age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that music would have gotten cheap because all the music before me was cheap. I didn't want to buy it, but it was there. And I used to think, wow, someday Zeppelin will be in this bin. And then I'll clean up. And it never happened. I mean, like the tunes I like never got like old and thrown in the bin. It just stayed on the fucking, the top shelf with the highest price and shit. Fuck.
It's as if adolescence has become codified in that era. Like, there are kids now going to school. They go to high school, they grow their hair long, they're wearing Zeppelin t-shirts or Jimi Hendrix t-shirts. Even right today. It's like when you turn 15, you grow your hair long, you start smoking pot, and you start listening to Jimi Hendrix. Like, I mean, 50 years after, that's what kids are still doing.
Hey, we finally got a culture mic. Finally settled into one,
It's pretty good, too.
Yeah, good.
Do you remember those cassette deals you used to get, like ads for these cassette deals?
It was good for those.
Cassette deals, yeah.
For those?
Oh, I had a lot of cassette deals, yeah.
There was always a Jean-Luc Ponty in there, Remember that?
I know what you're talking about. No, I used to wish there was something like I remember all right, Conway Twitty. I was looking through them, right, in the bin because they were stupid cheap.
No, this wasn't a bin. This was something you sent away for.
Oh, those,
the Columbia Record and Tape Club. 10 cents. Right? Dave, you did that a lot.
I did.
Yeah.
And do just what they wanted and cancel and then do it again. But the initial 10 were crap anyway. Once in a while, there was some good shit in there, all right, Boston, Frampton Comes Alive. Now you're gonna have that one all day. There was one that was great. It was the best of Saturday Night Live. It was audio, and it had the test between Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor, right? Word association.
That was a good one.
Yeah. N-word. Dead honky.
So what about Jean-Luc Ponty? Mike?
Yeah, there was always a Jean-Luc Ponty tape in that deal, So I didn't know who the hell he was, but I went and got one anyway, and it turns out, he played with all kinds of people,
Hey, Jean-Luc Ponty was great.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Jazz fusion violin player. Jazz fusion.
He played with Zappa. He played with a lot of people. Yeah. I remember one time when I was a teen, like 13 or something, and I was playing Zappa in my bedroom, and my dad walks by and he looks and he goes, "That's weird."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember? What album?
I used to listen to Slime from the Video. That one a lot, you know.
Yeah, that's great.
That album. Which one was that?
Which
What album was that?
It's Live in New York, right?
Well, that's
I
one
don't
of
think
them.
it was live. No, it wasn't live. It was it had, you know, Moving to Montana, Video. Yeah, those ones.
I don't know all those albums offhand. There's so many albums and so many songs. I've got everything Zappa made thanks to Dave over here. But you know, you put it on shuffle. I don't know what album it came from really.
I go through albums. I listen to whole albums. I'll take the whole thing in. That's how I listen to them. I actually had times where I would just loop an album.
I like
to know it.
As far as the Slime goes, I like the Live from New York version because it's got Don Pardo, who used to announce Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm the Slime."
I'm the Slime, Frank.
Yeah, it's great.
Don Pardo was awesome. He had a prize once. They were doing a game show, and they said, "What did they win, Don?" And there was a picture of a car. It says, "It's a car, a red car with a radio in it."
For anybody watching this who doesn't know who Don Pardo is, I'm sorry.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Did you ever see Zappa's archive collection? Like, he's got every tape, everything he's ever done.
Yeah, in his basement.
In that movie, that documentary about him. Yeah, it's amazing.
You know who else did that? Collected like from that? It has like a whole warehouse. Is Bill Wyman from the Stones?
Really?
He just constantly took movies, home movies, just collected everything. You know, which was really smart. You know.
Yeah.
But he's got like a warehouse full of stuff, you know.
Have you heard the new Rolling Stones album?
I've heard 3 songs on it. You know, I had to hear the McCartney one, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it was pretty good. I mean, I liked all I've heard so far, you know.
Yeah.
But
you hear the one with Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
It was really good.
I doubt they're going on tour though. I don't think they got that in them.
No, well, you never know.
Tour.
They were on tour last year.
They might do like a selected dozen shows or something, you know.
Those guys must really hate airplanes.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, no, they don't fly on regular airplanes, Dave. They fly on like private jets with.
Yeah, they must hate private jets, man. I mean, that's a lot of flying. I don't care if it's all right. Yeah, you don't have to go in coach. That's a real pain in the ass. But I mean, just. You know, you talk about hours being in a tube. You know what I mean?
Beats the bus,
no
though, you know?
Yeah, but that's
the bus.
Bar, it's got beds, it's got, you know, couches. Zeppelin's private jet had a fireplace.
How
do you do
McCartney, that? As we speak, McCartney is over in Australia putting on incredible shows at 81 years old.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And you know, somebody was saying this is just like the old days. You know, the Stones put out an album and it just gets like overshadowed by big Beatle news. You know,
big Beatle news.
Yeah, like
as far as some of the reviews I read about his current tour.
Yeah,
his voice is starting to go.
Yeah, the Beatle news I was talking about though was the new song, the last song.
Oh yeah,
that's coming out November 2nd. Now and Then. Coming out November 2nd.
I'm going to listen to that. Of course I am.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Let It Be is that, right? Just floor sweepings. I mean, they were gone. It's what they left behind. And that one producer, I guess, he threw it together from what was laying around in the studio. Let It Be. It was just junk they had just done, you know, left laying around.
Well,
I heard
hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage when they did that, and then to as per usual, the Ruddles put out a tape called the Beatles' last song is Now and Then. The Ruddles' last song is Tao and Zen.
Huh.
Nice.
They say this is our last song. We promise.
Thank God.
Fingers crossed. I cross my fingers.
Yeah, so Paul's on tour. Ringo's on tour. Ringo's always
Ringo!
on tour.
I had this great clip. He's great at the beginning of 200 Motels. He's just sitting there acting goofy, talking to that announcer guy. You tell they're just trying. All right, there's a camera. Camera. Okay, we're filming. Go. Do something.
Do something.
That.
Yeah.
What was the only one? That guy from the Turtles was the one that really hammed it up and was really funny.
Yeah, both of those.
Flo and Eddie. Flo was funny.
Flo and Eddie. Yeah, how did they end up with Zappa? It's so different. But they loved it.
They left the Turtles and they couldn't even use their own name, so they had because the record company had the rights to their names, their real names. So that's why they were Flo and Eddie. Fluorescent something, and so they just did that. That's what they were. That was a great band. I love that. Actually, that's one of my favorite eras with him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
He had and that would have gone on, but that fan came up and shoved Frank off the stage, and he broke shit. He ended up in a wheelchair. And those other guys just moved on. That was the reason that band broke up, because it was, I think, for Zappa was pretty much out of it for a year.
Yeah.
That was a weird fucking. That was like a drop. Like, I think it was like 12 feet in front, and it was all black. Couldn't even see it. They knew it was there, but that's where Frank disappeared into with that crazy guy.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a good era for their music. That's for sure.
Yeah. Magic Fingers.
They were funny. They were funny. Oh yeah, Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers is great.
How did Michael Nesmith end up in the Monkees?
They had to have one musician in the band.
Yeah, that Stephen Stills tried out for Peter's part.
Really?
Yeah, and they didn't get it, but he told Peter, he was rooming with Peter, I think, at the time, and was living with him, and he said, "Hey, I think you should try out for this part."
Stephen Stills and the Monkees. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It'd be different.
Yeah, but different, all right. He would have been
Him
a
and Mike
TV
Nesmith
guy.
Playing together might have been really cool.
He would have been like David
up
Cassidy. You know what I mean? Nobody ever thought David Cassidy was cool. And he was, but he was Keith Partridge.
Just every teen and every teen girl in America. That's all.
It wasn't bad being him, whatever.
No. Nah.
No fucking way.
Nah, he had it all. I'm sure he had all he could get,
Who was the trying to think of, my sister had all those magazines, the Tiger Beat,
yeah,
Teen Magazine and all that.
They had they would always have what they liked,
Davy
Jones. Like favorite food, favorite band,
yeah,
favorite.
Davy Jones was a big one. Donny Osmond was a big one. Of course, Keith Partridge there.
Oh, you like Marie, didn't you? Marie Osmond.
Marie.
Don't you remember Donnie and Marie? Marie was fucking beautiful.
She's a little bit country.
A little bit.
She's a little bit country.
Just a little bit.
She was a little bit.
A real little bit.
Just enough.
A little bit of Motown in her soul. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's so whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
My so whoa, whoa.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's I think the Monkees would have blown up real quick if Stephen Stills was in it.
Blown up?
Yeah, he just had way too much talent.
He would have put up with none of it. Yeah, he wouldn't have been listening to nobody. That became apparent before they even talked to him long. That's why he didn't get it.
They would have been. They would have had their own music though. And it might have been really good. Like imagine Stephen Stills and Mike Nesmith playing together.
It does.
They
did,
you know,
really good.
Yeah, but
they had that.
TV wouldn't allow it to be broadcast. It'd been great, but they would go, "Oh, we can't do this. This is too good."
The Monkees had that one album that they wanted that they did themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Headquarters, and they wanted to do it just like every other band. They wanted to write the songs, record it themselves.
Yeah,
and all their friends were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard pieces of it. It's not great. It's not great, but
I love those old albums like like Buffalo Springfield, fucking like Deja Vu. That's a great album. All that shit. Awesome. I saw Crosby, Stills and Nash in Cold State Park.
I was there.
I saw the Neon Valley Boys too. Yeah. I was at a Stonewall.
I saw that year. That's probably that same year. I saw the Neon Valley Boys 7 times. Every time was for free. Every time was for free.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, it was in front of that old house. It was really cool. Cold State Park's cool. Probably still a piece of that on the water.
There's a piece of that on the internet, believe it or not.
Oh, really? That day?
Really? I believe so.
Oh,
yeah,
you gotta fucking send me the link. I'll look for it, but
okay, I'll look for it.
Are we in it? Did they pan the audience?
A little bit, but I didn't see us.
We were on the wall. Sure I know where we were. Me, you, and Dale.
I'm pretty sure it was from Colt State Park. But
I like that.
They were a great band. They were a great band.
Is this the one where they were fighting?
What? Crosby, Stills and Nash?
They were arguing on stage.
I don't know. That's what Cheryl and fucking John said that. I didn't pick it up. You know what I remember? They played Our House and we all sang it. Everybody. That's what I remember. I don't remember the other stuff. The Dark Cloud and the I don't remember any of that. I remember Our House. That's what I remember the most. That was fucking great. It was great. And the other thing was there were people with their boats out in water too. They were up close too. You could hear the whole bay was singing Our House. They don't remember that part. They don't tell that story.
You get that much talent in one band, and it's great on one hand. On the other hand, the bad thing about it is there's that much talent in one band.
Yeah.
And everybody, it just can't last. It's not meant to last. It
wasn't meant to last though. They were meant to be like able to do their own stuff. And go off and do side projects with different members, and that's what it was supposed to be. That's why they all put all their names in that band so that they could, do other stuff.
They have variations. I had one that's called Nash Young. Nash Young.
Yeah.
They tried every combination.
Yeah, it was like
and it was always great.
Missing people. All right, I'll get it anyway. I like Buffalo Springfield was great. That fucking retrospective. I wore that fucking thing out.
I thought the best quote though was when Crosby was in the hospital for a liver transplant. Nash goes over to Stills and he says, "Steven." No, Nash goes and visits David in the hospital, right? Graham says, "David, if you die and leave me with Steven, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
I followed David Crosby on Twitter. He was pretty interesting though. I mean, he just talked music to other musicians. They didn't. There was no like Twitter shit. I'm talking shit about nobody. None of that shit. You know what I mean? So it wasn't what I expected when I followed. I didn't know what to expect, but I remember he had a pretty good feed.
Those guys love their guitars, man. They love their guitars.
Yeah, who doesn't? Hey, you see Jason Momoa? I just saw. We're reading this article. Jason Momoa bought the very first D28 ever made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucking rich actor, gets to have that.
B28. What is that? A bomber? That's some kind of.
The D28 is a classic Martin guitar.
Oh, Martin. Yeah. Mikey, that's what Mike told me to get, right? So what's a good guitar to get, right? And he says a Martin, and I priced one. I go, what the fuck?
Well, you wanted a good guitar, didn't you?
That's what he says. That's what he recommends. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna ask you twice. Jesus Christ. I'm a amateur.
Not a bad recommendation. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? That is not a bad recommendation. To recommend a Martin guitar? I mean, what the fuck? You said, what's a good guitar? Martin's a good guitar. They're the best guitar.
Oh, no.
No, don't never listen to him again. What the fuck?
What did you end up getting, Dave?
I stirred up some content, Mikey.
What did you end up getting? Back? It wasn't his fucking back, man.
Oh, that's right.
What kind of guitar did you get, Dave?
I just got a Crafter.
Crafter?
Yeah, it's South Korean.
Yeah, have you ever heard of them?
They make them by hand, but It's all right. It's all right for me. And it was $200.
Jesus Christ.
But they're handmade. They're kind of made. I don't want to say like Martin, but like Martin. They're not Martins. I'm not saying they're Martins.
I was always partial to those D18s, man. I just love those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're a little smaller body than the 28s, and a little more playable.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
In a guitar store, I played other guitar. I get it, right? I mean, a guitar can change everything. It's like, you can sound way better. Like some guitars they're just gonna make you sound really like that. G sounds really good right now. It's like I got to struggle on the Crafter to get it right, and this thing just like accepts, and forgives, and it's lovely. But it's $2,000. Okay.
I like the classic HD28. That's my favorite version.
Yeah.
I went to when I was going to build my guitar. I went to the Vintage French Shop up there in New Hampshire. And I just, the guy asked me, "Can I help you?" I was like, "I'm not really going to buy a guitar. I'm going to build one." He's like, "Really? You're going to build your own guitar?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "All right." He says, "Start on this wall and play every guitar all the way around until you get to this one, and then come talk to me and tell me what you like." So I tried every guitar in the place. Now, the Vintage Fret Shop had only good, nice guitars. It was only Gibsons and Martins and Nationals, And when I got around to the HD28, man, that was the one that had the best balance of bass and treble, And so I went and talked to him. It was a pre-war HD28, this classic guitar. It was the most expensive. It was like $5,000 back then. But he told me what I liked about it, why I liked the things I liked about it, and then he told me where I could get plans to build one. And the rest is history. I built one.
You built more than one, right, Mike?
Oh yeah. Yep.
How many you built?
I built a couple of acoustic guitars and a couple of electric guitars.
That's cool. I thought that acoustic. You let me play the one with the it has like the Dare tracks.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking cool. That's a cool guitar.
Yeah, that's the one. That's based on a Martin HD28.
Yeah, well, I like that. I get it. A good guitar is like
it's got amazing. A great sound, man. You can't beat the sound.
No, and it's coming from you. So that's what's great about it.
I brought that guitar into Mark Thayer's studio. He wanted me to leave it there. He's like, "You love the sound of that guitar." I said, "No." He said, "Yeah, if you leave it here, I'll guarantee you people will buy one from you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not leaving it. I'm taking it with me."
You ever make marionettes anymore, Mike?
No, I haven't made any of those in years.
You probably forgot almost how, huh?
Oh, no.
No,
I know how to make them.
There's things I've learned to do I can't do anymore. I've been so far away from it. The skill, like something I was skilled at, But going back to fuck, I've completely lost this ability,
Oh yeah, well I have. I've been doing the same. I've been using the same skill set for years.
Yeah, that's true.
Making different things.
So you could whip one up, right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Did you ever hear of Tom Dean, the guy, musician Tom Dean?
I don't know.
Devon Square. They were real big up in northern New England anyway. It's like a 3-piece folk thing anyway. I saw him play a D18 one time. That's his guitar. And he had some built-in bridge pickups.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure what kind they were and what the setup was, but it was just the best sounding acoustic guitar. It sounded like an acoustic guitar. Like it sounded like itself coming through the...
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
it didn't sound like an acoustic guitar with electronics,
Yeah. I hate like that classy sound that most electric acoustics have.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like an acoustic guitar to me. You'll hear people, really big people, using these things, and you're like, that sounds like you might as well be using an electric guitar. Might as well go all the way because it doesn't sound like an acoustic guitar. Yeah. It doesn't sound as good as an electric guitar, and it doesn't sound as good as an acoustic guitar. And just stop it. Fucking mic the thing or shut the fuck up.
These pickups were like built right into the bridge, like they were just little dots on the bridge,
Oh, Wow.
And it's just beautiful, you know.
Most of them use like a piezo pickup underneath the saddle,
Mm.
you know, and it people are used to that sound now, so they associate it as an acoustic
I
guitar.
don't know.
But to me, it does not sound like one.
No.
That's the holy grail, is chasing that sound, you know, to try and make it sound like like the guitar, just louder.
Yeah.
You know, having its own voice. One of the things Mark Thayer told me about in recording is like, so he uses these microphones to record your guitar, right, and your instruments. He says then he has to go back to the EQ to EQ out the sound of the microphone, try and make it sound more like your amplifier sounded in the room. He actually has to EQ out the microphone, the voice of the microphone. I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
But he does a good job of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. I wish we could.
I was in his. What's his partner's name?
I don't know. I never met him.
No, the woman. His life partner.
Oh shit! Now you got me in. I blanked. She's a famous folk singer.
Yeah, and I knew her before I was aware of him. You know.
Shoot, I can't think of it now. Sorry, on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Claudia Schmidt.
Claudia Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good.
She had one of those weekly pandemic shows, you know.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it was like every Wednesday. I used to watch it. It was good.
Yeah, I saw a video of an album she did in that studio with just a bass and drum and piano, and it was really good stuff. You know, there's more jazz than folk.
Yeah.
And in fact, I kind of think of her as a jazz singer because of that. Yeah.
She does a lot of folk though. Like the tape, I talk about cassette tapes. I just had this cassette tape laying around, you know, in the 80s, you know, with her, from her. It was her. And it was folk, you know, it was pretty folky.
Yeah. Well, the recent stuff she's been doing has been more jazz-like.
More jazz, yeah.
That's what I know of her. I hadn't really heard of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Really good. And probably a really nice person. She gets along with Mark. You know, Mark's really nice, mild-mannered guy.
Yeah, I had a weird thing happen to me last week. Joanne was cutting down some roses. And so I picked up the rose bushes and I threw them in the woods. And of course I wasn't wearing gloves, you know. Oh. So I got picked a few times, you know. But then I developed these abscesses on my hand, you know.
Really?
Like two. Like one on my palm and one on my finger.
So you got an infection?
Then I started reading about, and just a couple of days prior to that, I was putting some sphagnum moss down around one of my trees. And there's a fungus you can get from the sphagnum moss.
Really?
If you get infected, if you have an open cut or something. But turns out you can also get that from roses. It's like spore something or other. It's a long name.
Wow.
And these things were nasty looking, you know. And you know when you get a splinter and it gets embedded and it gets infected. Yeah. That's what it looked like, you know. But I wouldn't, you know. But there wasn't anything in there, you know. So I thought I had this spore thing, you know, and I might have, you know, but I squeezed the fuck out of it and just clear liquid.
No, you're going to wake up in the morning in a pod, Mike.
In the pod.
Yeah.
This clear liquid came out.
Plant matter being.
Yeah. I thought I had this spore thing, this fungus. And this is bad.
You get stabbed by something that was outside. It could be like pollution from a cloud, you know. You never know what the fuck's on the tip of a rose thorn. You know, a little droplet of evil from some factory.
Lots of famous diseases are just live out there.
Mercury.
You know?
Yeah, there was mercury.
It turns out you can get this fungus from roses. They're one of the things that carry it, you know. So out of the two things that carry it, I dealt with both in the same week, you know. And I handled both of those things. And
life in the woods.
The doctor wrote me out this antifungal script. and was like, and this was like on a Friday, last Friday, and they said if it doesn't look better by Monday, go on these, and it's like a 4 week. Antifungals aren't fun, I don't think. I think they fuck you
They
up
don't
pretty
sound
good.
fun.
Never had one.
It sounds
I never
like
had one either, but
if you're on an antifungal, mushrooms don't work.
right.
You just sit there straight.
Anyways,
when you become sad.
Looking better. They started looking better, but so I didn't do the drug, but that was kind of weird.
It is kind of
weird.
weird.
Isn't it weird that we're more closely related to fungus than plants are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that is
pretty
weird.
wild.
Mushrooms are more like animal. They're more like animal than plant.
Yeah, they take in oxygen.
Yeah, fungus is amazing shit. You ever heard of slime mold? Actually, Phil K. Dick has a character. It's a slime mold. It's his neighbor. It's a slime mold. It's an intelligent slime mold. It comes under the fucking door. Yes, wow. It's a character.
They are kind of intelligent, though. if you want to like, if you're gonna lay out a city, say with the plumbing and whatever, you could put the slime mold on the map, and it'll give you the most efficient way of.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Track the slime mold. They'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one. It was Philip K. Dick.
So there's like there's staph out there just is there anthrax laying out in your soil?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of like deadly things out there that just in the environment.
If they fall into an open cut and you don't get it, like you don't disinfect it like right away, like anthrax will get you that. Like farmers got it, nobody else got it. Farmers got it because it was in their yard, and they get a cut and just the perfect timing. That little spore got in there and dead.
Laura got MRSA from a scratch. She was working in her little flower garden. She got a scratch, not even deep, just like a little enough to leave a little white line on her skin. And she got MRSA, and then she almost died from that. She was down to the last medicine. They said, "This is it. If we don't have, we can't. If this medicine doesn't work, there's nothing we can do." Fortunately, it worked, but then it killed all of her internal bacteria, and then she got C. diff. Had to deal with that, But she came close to death from a little scratch. Not like a bleeding scratch either. Just enough to make a white mark on your skin.
That's why you got to clean a wound right away, like with soap and water. Just right away. The minute you get it, don't blow it off. Don't suck on it.
She didn't even think of it, though. She didn't even think to do that.
The fuck out of it and then put a bandage on it.
But Dave, she didn't even think, like, it wasn't even that big of a scratch, like, that you would think about that.
Oh, all right. Yeah, sometimes it's just a scrape with like,
hardly made a mark on her.
You didn't even know it was there until you take a shower sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't get up.
That sucks.
I'm just not getting out of bed in the morning ever again.
Yeah, all ambitious and shit. You want to start your day like that, getting fungus infections? Fuck. This particular fungus thing, if it goes unchecked, it can spread to your it travels through your lymph system.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it goes to systemic. So you gotta if you have it, you gotta get it treated.
I got at Home Depot they got a pack of 3 gloves. Right, one's yellow. I like yellow at night. Right, but they're nice. I mean, for when you got to deal with roses and shit.
Yeah,
I got them in my truck. They're an impulse buy. I think they're like $3. I got 3. So I got 3 of them. So I got just gloves everywhere. I'm not far from gloves. I go, I got some right there. There's right there in my toolbox. I can see them popping up. They're the red ones. They're the ones I don't mind getting glue on. I don't like the red ones. So that's what I'll glue with. That's getting epoxy all over it. Yeah, because they're red.
You been doing any bookbinding?
No. What have I been doing lately? I've been working with Linux. This is called Puppy Linux. It's like the lightest it goes. Like I got like these Latitudes. They were really good computers in the day, right? But they suck. So I just get Windows off it and I put these light operating systems. I'm seeing how fast I can make them. And I can get them pretty fast. This is a Latitude. When This one was like $80. I got this for $80. It's a portable. It's got a touch screen. It's got like a Core i7 processor. It's fast. It's got a lot of RAM. It's just a couple of years old. Like Windows now, every time they do the upgrade, that just makes it. It's time to buy a new computer, right? That's basically what they, But I'm not.
Has
So
Linux gotten any easier to use?
What's that?
Has Linux gotten any easier to use?
Wicked easy. I use Mint. That's what I'm using on this on the faster ones, and it's still light. No fan noise, nothing. I had this one like, do you have fans? Does it run a lot? Like the minute you go online on a Windows machine, the fan just takes off like it's a jet engine because of all the processing that Windows demands. And this operating system doesn't demand anything.
I don't hear the fan on mine.
Huh?
I don't hear the fan on mine.
Well, mine did. It's an example anyway. I had a computer that couldn't handle.
I got a solid state hard drive.
Oh, all right.
No moving parts, so it doesn't run as hot.
This one I'm using don't have a fan. It's great. It's more like a cell phones don't have fans either.
I need to get a new laptop because mine is dying by degree. The screen's cracked now.
Well.
And it's giving me shit,
Well, let's get a $70 Latitude and I'll put Linux on it. I'll probably put Linux on that one. Try it out. Actually, you can download it. You can download Linux Mint, right? Put it on a USB drive, right? Reboot it with this as the boot device, and you can try it that way. You can actually run it on a USB stick. That's what this one is.
You told me that if you get Linux, you have to know something about coding to use it, right?
No, you don't. You don't. It's just following instructions. It's not that hard. It's not.
So I install Linux, right? And then I go, YouTube. Will it take me to YouTube?
Well, yes. There's browsers there. Whatever browser you use Chrome. Is that what you use?
Sure.
Okay, you got Chrome. I got Chrome on mine.
We're
using Chrome right now. I'm using Meet on Chrome on when I'm using Linux.
Okay.
Yeah. I just go. You open up. Yeah, you got a browser. You download it. You log your account on it, and then you.
What's the go-to AI now? Is it still open?
I use ChatGPT just because I'm used to it.
GPT-4 is the one that you have to pay for.
No. What's the free one? Is it still
ChatGPT? I don't pay for that. And I don't wait long, but I just ask it like bash questions, script questions.
Well, I went on it the other day for the first time in a long time because after that mass shooting in Maine, I wanted to really see, because you always hear like this is a uniquely U.S. problem, right? So I wanted to see what AI thought about that.
They don't generally know shit like that. They actually hallucinate. That's a problem with them. They hallucinate.
But you would think that's a facts. That's just a facts and figures thing, though.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way though.
Well, it depends on how you ask the question.
Yeah, and still, you can't rely on like.
It can work that way if you ask the right questions.
I've asked it.
I mean, I can't remember exactly how I asked, but it was pretty straightforward. Like, what's the countries with the most, or which countries have the most mass shootings, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is it's how you define mass shootings, and they all define it differently, and
Yeah.
But
our country is the most mass shootings. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one. Go USA.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've tried that with things I think it would know, like when is Jupiter in opposition, right? And it's gotten that wrong. Here's an evil one, right? I was asking it to do code. I wanted to do 2 commands. I wanted the first command to find files, right? Like find all text files. And then I wanted the second command to make a directory and move them all into that directory. So I asked it to do that. How do you do it? So it gives me a line, right? It gives me an example, right? But instead of copy or move, I wanted them to move, it put in delete. So if I ran that line as it gave me, right, it would have deleted it would have found all the text files, but it wouldn't have moved it to a directory. They would have deleted them. And I went, oh, you evil fuck. Right? I almost ran that.
You should talk to Sequoia. Sequoia's been using it to his advantage a lot. You should talk to him. He knows how to get it right. He's actually using it as someone to talk to, like a.
How does he know it's right? If he's asking
like
it a question, does he research after to see if the AI is right? I just don't find it trustworthy. That's all I'm saying. Right? Even if it tells me
that some people do make it work. So there are ways to make it work. That's all I'm saying. Just because you don't get it doesn't mean it doesn't work for everybody.
I didn't say it didn't work. I didn't say that. I said I don't trust it. I don't trust the answer. Like when it comes to a number or something. Because you can ask it again and give you a different number. You know? I mean, I've used it plenty. You know, it's not like, it's just, sometimes those answers are just that way. It's just, I was thrown away. I asked it, how is it that you don't know when Jupiter's in opposition on your computer? Isn't that just math? Right? And it gave me some bullshit answer about feelings and shit. It does that a lot. It apologizes all the time. It's almost annoying.
That's one thing it did with this. It said, it's a complex issue. You know, it's not just the gun law. It's a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like very politically correct, and it is a complicated issue.
It is.
Well, all right. So bottom line.
If he had a hunting rifle, I can damn well tell you there wouldn't be that many people dead.
That's right. Or a soccer ball.
Here's a weird one. I was just showing this to Laura. The gun I want to get is a Mini 14, and it's got a wooden stock, and it doesn't have all that like military shit all over it. And I said, well, what do you think of this gun? Well, that just looks like a hunting rifle. It acts the same way as an AR. It shoots the same bullets. It's a semi-auto, and I've shot them. I shot an AR and a Mini 14. They work the same way, but I think there's something about, Jed was telling me this one time, and I start to believe him. I think there's something about those guns that they're shaped like military guns.
Yeah.
Right? They work just like a hunting rifle, but they have you can do all the add-ons. You can put the night scope on it. You can put all this shit on it, flashlights, and I think that guys get these things and because they feel like military guns. They're all into it. Yeah. And I think that's why it's the most popular gun. The Mini 14 is not very popular, and it works exactly the same.
Yeah.
You can put the same clips. You can put a big banana clip on it. But like you said, Mike, if he didn't have all those rounds, he wouldn't have been able to kill all those people, right? And I know that people are going to argue about having the right to have big clips because they're going to need them to fight the government with or whatever bullshit they're going to give you. But the fact of the matter is, most gun guys who are against all that, they never questioned the hunting laws that only allow you 5 rounds for hunting, right? They accept that, but then when you say, well, we should only, we shouldn't have like big 25 round banana clips or whatever, then they lose their shit. You say, well, what about background checks? Oh, they're fucking totally against background checks. Well, I see that you have a concealed carry permit. It means you must have gotten a background check. You didn't fucking protest then, did you?
Yeah.
Most of the guys I know that are against background checks have already gone through one. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's true.
Both sides.
Like
like
he said.
Whenever this happens, you go both sides. They're having these same stupid arguments, and both sides are stupid.
Yep.
And both arguments are stupid. Oh, you think you're going to go taking everybody's guns? Who's going to do that? Who's going to go door to door and take everybody's guns? Nobody. Cops ain't going to do it.
But
Cops don't want to face armed people.
In this situation where the guy has been, he's military, and he was, he was hospitalized last summer for 2 weeks.
Right.
And
right.
He's telling, mental health that, the voices are telling him to kill,
Yeah, he should have his guns taken away. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not
Mental
forever.
health.
Maybe we'll put him in a locker for you. Maybe if you get better, you can have him back. But what the fuck?
But mental health doesn't have in Maine anyway, doesn't have the authority to do that,
Anywhere in the country, they made it like you can't do that anywhere. You can't just take people's guns away from mental health issues. That's one of the things these guys have fought really hard about. And you're like, dude, you really want? Is this really the hill you want to die on? Like,
Italy,
domestic abusers.
In Italy,
like, yes,
they do take your gun for a year if you do something nutty.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
a year, and you get back.
this guy's got voices telling him to kill people, and you're gonna let him have a fucking gun that has a semi-automatic with a big clip on it and everything?
Yep.
No.
So
No,
then they just check on him.
That's not one of the, it doesn't make sense. It's one of those arguments that does not make sense.
Thing is,
you could be on a do not fly list.
That's how
right?
the cops
You're not
know in
allowed
Italy.
to fly. You're not allowed to travel, but you could still have your gun because we can't infringe on your your Second Amendment rights. We can infringe on your First Amendment rights. But shit, I'm going off. I'm sorry, I'm going off.
Well, that guy, everybody knew he was crazy. Like in Italy, everybody would know he was crazy. Told the cops would have taken his gun because it's a community thing. Everybody around that guy knew this, right? So anyway, in Italy, this happens, and they take the gun. Sorry, buddy, we'll check in on a year, see how you're doing. You know what I mean? So you're allowed to even have guns. You just have to tell the local cops you got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a pistol and a shotgun is what's allowed.
I mean, Italians are crazy, man. Italians will fly off the handle, but do they have mass shootings
just humans?
like we do?
Humans fly off the handle, and if there's guns around, it's always bad. When you fly off, kind of, off the handle,
Yeah.
as you do, because you're human, because it's one fucking disaster after another. Sometimes it just gets to you. You can't believe this new thing is here, and you ain't even taking care of the other thing yet. Now I got two things.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever.
How many times have our policymakers, who have voted one way forever, and then something affects them, directly, and they completely flip, because they have. How many times does that happen? Uncountable, It's
happening right now in Maine, where they're all of a sudden going, "Hey, what about our gun laws?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Maine.
But it happens to you. It's something different, right?
Hey, did they catch that guy yet?
He's dead.
They found him dead. Yeah, which is usually the way it happens. Yeah.
They killed him?
No,
he
they found
killed
him.
himself.
He killed himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do after that? There's a lot of places.
So now all these people die, and there's nothing. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Till the next one.
Yeah,
talking about this
the last one for yourself, I guess. That's fucking.
No, you could say thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
The people who like to say thoughts and prayers, as soon as they say that, they never give it another thought, and they certainly don't pray about it. They just said the words, and now they're done. Hey, I said the words, thoughts and prayers. Done. Fuck those people. Fuck you people, right up the ass.
Thoughts and prayers. What's for supper?
I get your thoughts and prayers dangling here.
I get thoughts and prayers right here. Yeah,
well, it seems to me like there's something, you're never going to be able to prove to anybody that any of your strategies have any effect. Like, you can't prove a negative. Like, we make a law that let's say everybody gets babackground checks or whatever. And maybe there's less shootings, but you can never prove that to the other side.
Exactly.
All the things that didn't happen. Look at all the things that didn't happen. What?
No, but the stats are there, though. When that Brady bill was in effect, like for 10 years, then it expired. Yeah. There were less shootings. The stats are there. Yeah. Then it expired. And whoever was in power at the time didn't renew it.
Yeah.
So the numbers are there.
The assault weapon ban, which basically banned the importation of assault weapons.
Yeah.
You could still have them. They didn't take any away from anybody, but there was a drop in mass murders during that time too. But you can never prove that to the NRA guys.
They'll never admit it, but you got the numbers to prove it.
What good does it do if they'll never admit it?
Yeah.
They want to ban abortion because the woman's freedom to choose is sacrificing children. Well, your freedom to keep a firearm is sacrificing children too. So shut the fuck up. You do not have the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Oh, this call is about to end. Well, nice talking to you, boys. Hope to see you guys soon. If
Yeah, have
not,
a good
I'll see
day.
you next Saturday.
Oh yeah.
It's like summer out there.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, man.